Hello. Uh, this week we got no sideshow, but we went through a more traditional book, I guess. Flowers for Algernon. Uh, the book follows Charlie Gordon. He is a mentally incapacitated 32-year-old man, and he goes through a surgery that unlocks his like brain potential. The book uses the term IQ, which this book is from like the 1960s, so like it's a little bit dated, but that's basically the rough idea, and it goes through like how he goes through life with this newfound knowledge, this newfound ability to like actually build on his like knowledge and stuff. Um, the book, I think, was a very solid book. The writing at the beginning, it's really hard to read because obviously like at the time, I'm sure that it was a lot more acceptable. But like nowadays, it does irk a little bit, like writing from like the perspective of how you think a mentally incapacitated person might write. Uh, Also, the English is a little bit aged, so like keep that in mind. But the book definitely really hits its stride uh, a little bit after he reads the grammar book, and it goes crazy style, really. Um, Watching Charlie Gordon go through like the beauties of like learning, and then seeing how he was in some ways happier before, and then you know uh, minor spoilers. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'll wait till 15 seconds. Actually, it's not minor spoilers, it's pretty major spoilers. When he loses his like mental abilities because he realizes, with his newfound knowledge, that there's an error in like their process, and seeing how Algernon had his like steep decline, he'll also have the steep decline, and like it's really touching to see like those last days of like it's a beautiful view into like I guess the human psyche, I guess, of like seeing how Alice, you know, knowing the doomed nature of it, she still wants to seek that like temporary happiness, and like seeing his regression when he stops using apostrophes, like it's gonna come, and it's well, I mean, it's gonna come before then, but it's still gut wrenching, and it's a certainly really well written book, a little bit aged, like I said before, but. Uh, it's a pretty good book. I would think like a 7 out of 10. I know this is kind of like I assume like the video for this is probably going to be like I don't know, some video game clip, and like this is going to be a much shorter video than the other ones because the other ones they're much more detailed notes, and I didn't really want to just do plot recap the entire way. But looking at my notes were just about what I think would happen between reading sessions, and in some ways the book is kind of predictable, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because I feel like a lot of the things are just well foreshadowed. Like you can piece together like that he is gonna lose his ability, like his intellectual abilities later on in the book, and that's how it's gonna end. Especially with the name of the book, Flowers for Algernon, you're gonna assume Algernon dies, right? There's that's pretty simple, right? Um, yeah. When oh yeah, one silly thing, the compositions when he writes compositions, I genuinely couldn't tell what that was. So because like the Rorschach test, I don't even know if that's how it's pronounced, but that one pieced together later on. But looking back now, I was still confused. I looked up essay synonyms and compositions. um in the overall sense, this book, great book, wonderful book. I'd give it like a 7, 8 maybe out of 10. Next week, what are maybe a doubleheader, maybe a little bit of Le Petit Prince. I can read French, and then maybe Dale Carnegie's book. I don't know what I feel like. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Bye.